then I want to make sure that post is aligned with the things I do. So it's always a barber related post, but now it's like a funny, like if I catch somebody doing something funny on barbering, I'll do a commentary,
like a reaction,
reaction video over it. I would do things like that. And I'm like, okay, that's going to bring them to the page and they're going to see I teach barbering. But I don't want it to go too far down because it's still a page that I might end up putting some like stuff with me and my wife. You know what I mean?
Because it's your personal pmichael page.
Because that's the one that got the most followers. But then I did create subsidiaries. So for every small business I have, I created pages for them. And those posts, one page, which is the Junior Barber Academy, just an initiative, not even a full business, just the program. That page finally got like almost 5,000 followers organically. Like I don't even look at it. And I post on that thing like once a week.
Out of all the channels or pages that you have, you're the one in charge of posting.
Yeah. I tried to get, I had a VA, virtual assistant, do some posting for me, but they couldn't catch my cadence. So I was like, this thing got to feel good. And then so sometime I'll just grab the phone and start videoing, taking pictures and put it out, just throw it. I don't even care about it. Ain't no strategy behind how I'm going to do it. But then I'm like, questions I always ask myself, is it tied into my mission and vision? And why would somebody care about even looking at this thing? You know what I mean? So me have to be out of it. B, I know it's barber related.
That's the clip right there.
Let me ask you a sideways question. Are either of you concerned that social media is all about a rented audience versus owning the audience?
Actually, no, because truth be told is the way that I'm running my business now really have nothing to do with social media. And what I mean by that is I contact schools. As long as the internet does not go down, right? You know, I'm going to be able to sit here and contact schools and contact principals, contact, you know, counselors and talk to them. So
Cold contact?
Yes.
Through email?
Correct.
Or LinkedIn? Okay. So you didn't mention that earlier. So that's a big part of your outreach strategy. Well,
Yes.
outreach is a big part of your
and
marketing
that's
strategy.
fairly new. You know, so everything to date has been through Facebook, through LinkedIn, as well as relationship based. So someone who follows me, they say, oh, you know what? I know George, he's a principal over at XYZ school. I'm going to tag you in. Tag me in. Next thing you know, I'm having a meeting with George. George plugged me to the person that's responsible for bringing me in. Next thing you know, I'm in that school administrating some workshops.
So network, and this is why you're a natural networker, and but networking for you has been paramount to growing the business.
Yeah, absolutely. But also just Facebook as well. I mean, Facebook, you know, like I said, social media, my neighbor, which is like, I don't know, he's might be in his 70s, late 70s. And I didn't even know we was friends on Facebook. And one day I saw him outside taking out the trash and he walked up to me and said, I really love what you're doing. And I'm looking at him saying to myself, I don't got a clue on what he's talking about.
Good job taking out the trash. I
Yeah,
really love what you do.
right. You know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this is a little weird, you know. But then he tapped me and says, the kids. I said, oh, and that told me that there are so many people that see my stuff that never comment, that never like, or
just lurkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason why I continue to post, because there's been a lot of individuals, even in networking groups, even at events. Like I will go to an event, I buy a table, a booth there, and people will walk up to my booth and say, I saw your post, you know, because I post in some groups as well.
Yeah.
They say, I saw your post. That's cool, you know, and then they might say, I know a teacher, or so that's been paramount for me to ensure that I constantly post.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a super valuable point, right? Like, just because people aren't necessarily engaging, look, we all want engagement, but just because you might not be getting a certain level of engagement doesn't mean people aren't seeing it. And sometimes it just takes those multiple touch points, and then when you finally do run into them in person, or you post that one thing that speaks to them, now all of a sudden you've got a new opportunity.
And you know, the one thing I found funny though about social media is that you were right, plain as day. If you work in the school district, contact me. And this person would like your post, they would comment on your post, they would share your post, they work in the school district, and they would never contact you. And then somebody, let's just say, you know, I look at their page and I say, oh wow, they work for school. And I reach out to them on a message, and then they help you out. And you know, that part I never can figure out. You know, I have hundreds of posts that say, if you work for the school district, DM me, or, you know, something of the sort. And people will report, yeah, good job, Lenny. Way to go. You are changing your future. You know, all these great comments. You're like, great engagement that you talk about.
Right.
But for whatever reason, something just didn't click for them to say. And I asked them. They just say, I just didn't think you were talking to me.
Which goes to show, right? Like, I talk to so many small businesses. Like, you need to ask for the sale a little bit more, right? It's a problem on a website. Or you go to a website, StoryBrand says, don't have a learn more button. right? What are you learning more? If someone's on your website, say, click to call me now, fill out this form, right? We really need to be explicit with our intentions. Otherwise, people are just going to say, oh, I didn't think you were talking to me.
Yeah, I take a different approach with it. So everything in my mindset behind posting is shareable content. That's the number one mindset. How can I share worthy content that doesn't have me as the journeyman, me as the hero? You know what I mean?